Hey guys, Mike here. So, oh boy, tomorrow is the big day, and boy, the market was just roaring today. And it's like, wait a minute, no, it wasn't roaring today. No, it did not. Actually, it did something that is just amazing me. When it happens, you can't help it. You're like, how is that possible to have all these billions flowing in from all over the world? And this is what they do to it the day before FOMC. But put your bets down in the bottom tomorrow. What you think is going to happen? Because to me, I think the most hilarious thing is if they release the minutes. Remember, they're going to release the minutes first at 2, so everybody's going to know before he ever comes out at 2:30. And they did no rate cuts. Like, wouldn't that be hilarious? Honestly, because I think it would freeze the algorithms. I think the algorithms would even be like, "What do we do? Do we go up or down? What's happening? We didn't plan for this, right?" Because all the funds say, majority of them say 25 basis points. The tool I'm going to show you says 50 basis points. And so, if he come out and they just did 0, it's like, and guess what? They would have something to back them up and maybe fudge numbers. But have you not noticed how the economic data has been coming out this week? All of a sudden, it's like, oh, look at this good economic data somehow, right? And I love this right here. I mean, this is exactly what people were waiting on. Here it comes. And you see Jerome Powell. I guess that's a dust storm or whatever the heck that thing's called right there. And here is what the market expects, right? 63% so far. This could change tomorrow morning, but again, they're expecting the 50 basis point cut. Again, I can't remember where this was actually wrong, so we'll see what it is in the AM before they release minutes. But here's the economic data so far this week. Look at manufacturing, which has been terrible. Look at that, 11.5 versus -5 was the forecast. 0.1 on the retail sales. Retail sales came in better than expected. Like somebody said, of course it did, because we went and did a lot of back to school shopping, right? But industrial production, 0.8 versus 0.2 expected. Business inventories, home builder confidence went up. It's amazing. And look, we all know one or two things is going to happen. Either bears are going to get smoked tomorrow, or bulls are going to get fried tomorrow. That's the way it is. Place your bet down in the comments which one you think that is going to be. And again, it's not just about this tomorrow. You will have stuff in the morning like building permits, housing starts, crude oil inventories. But then, of course, the big one. That's when the Fed funds rate comes out at 2. He will not start speaking until 2:30. Okay, and usually your initial move is not your real move. Just keep that in mind. And here's where the bond market's at right now. You got junk bonds at all-time highs right now. You're sitting here with your adjusted spreads. They're going down. Don't seem to be a whole lot of stress going on out there. Again, volatility still kind of just doing its thing. No big deal at all. And I'm going to draw a trail on this thing. I don't even know if this works on this kind of chart, but I'm going to do it anyway, just for the heck of it, right? Then look over here. I mean, I couldn't have scripted any better. You got TLT actually red on the day, but this is where, I mean, you hear it all the time. People just loading the boat on this thing, because what should happen, and sometimes it drops when they do rate cuts right first, but what should happen is they keep dropping rates. If that is the case, this should continue to go up. That trend line has been money so far, but when you look out of here, we're going to pull the volume profile up, and you can see what number it needs to get to really, really break out, okay? And again, I don't think anybody gets rich doing TLT unless you own millions of dollars of it. But when you look at this, right around, let me pull this even better so you can really see this. Right around, like, what is that, 107, 108 right there, I believe is when you really start to bust out. Yeah, that's when you hit that volume gap right there, because there's no resistance up there, right? Because it ran so high. So if it does get to 107, it can absolutely pop much higher, right? And this, if they continue to cut rates, and especially if we hit a recession, that's when if you're heavy in TLT, you want a recession. I'm not saying I want people to lose their jobs, and I'm not super heavy into it. I'm just saying that's when you get your real explosion, as you saw in 2020, 2008, okay? Now, RSP, again, another new all-time high today. I'm not going to go into a lot of stocks today because tomorrow's going to change the trajectory of a lot of stocks. SPY, all-time new high today. As soon as it hit it, boom, sold back down, closed right at the previous all-time high. I mean, you can't write it any better, right? And so that's how they did. But what's funny is look what they did to the Qs. Now, remember yesterday was like, oh, we breaking out. This is fantastic. No, they closed us right back into this triangle right here, right? Where we can break either way. Look at this, right back into it. That's where we closed into again. And so it's like breakout. No, I think not. Not happening. And when you look at the Dow, which by the way set an all-time new high yesterday, and by the way, put in the bottom, if you would have ever guessed we would be in September, which is the worst month of the stock market, and October ain't much better, and we'll be sitting there with the Dow at all-time highs, the SPY setting a new all-time high, RSP at all-time high, junk bonds at all-time highs, like in September. Like, really? I mean, to be honest, I do plenty of research and all this stuff. Been doing it a long time. No, I'm trying to think of a September where we were sitting at all-time highs and all this different stuff, like what year that would have been. Let me know if you can think about that in the comments. And so that's why a lot of people, if you're wondering, think it's a setup, right? They think, oh, we're going to come up here and then just going to get the rug pulled on us, right? That's why people think that. And I mean, it looks like that, right? But I mean, you look at today and you're like, flat, except IWM is the only one that held on to its gains, right? QQQ was up like 0.75 at one time, you know, and ends up just losing all of its gains. And what's really funny about this is, and I put this in the Discord, and it was this right here from Cheddarful. It says there's no flows that support this move up today, right? And I've only seen this a handful of times, but every time I have, there is a reversal. But if you look at the time of this text, it was at 10:47 this morning. And then you go to the Qs and you look at what time this thing started to sell down. 10:47 was the reversal, right? Which is kind of crazy. Usually it's not that right on. But when it says there's no flows, because we know how important the option market is, right? Supporting a move up or down, either way, there's usually always a reversal. I was going to say, rarely do you get that signal. But again, it happened again today. I remember it was a couple months ago they put that out, and it was the same thing. I mean, that's how important the options market is. If it is not supporting the move, you can forget about it 99% of the time. And that's what happened, right? Now, of course, you're saying, well, why is RSP going to all-time highs and all this other stuff? Just look what's up. Travel, energy, housing, you know, you keep going out, XLI, financials, once again, right? And so all these different things are moving up. And so, you know, that's why you're seeing RSP go to all-time highs. The SPY and the Qs continue just to lag and be kind of wedging in there, right? And if you're wondering where we can go, if the bears get cooked tomorrow and all of a sudden this thing starts to move, which I don't expect it to move in September, October, but for the rest of the year, let's say it goes crazy and we continue to go up. You know, anywhere from 5850 to 5900, you could absolutely see that. And that's just, some people are calling way higher than that. That's just kind of being conservative because it puts it at the top of that channel again. That's just me. And I was going to tell you another thing real quick before I get into some of these stock charts. Look, I did this video on August 20th, and I told you guys it really matters what BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street buy. I did a whole video on why that matters. And what happened was BlackRock had owned this utility company, and then Vanguard and State Street added last quarter. So of course I put a video out and I say, look at this. And this thing right here, since that video is like right there is when I put it out. Look at that thing. 32% on a utility. Okay, this is when it's GEB, because remember GE broke up their company in like 3 different parts, space, something else, and then the utility part. But I mean, you know, it matters if these big boys, especially you see them adding it on, making them in a new position, and you already know the stock market's trying to go defensive. And so that's why it matters. You see the volume. So this is big money buying. This ain't like just retail trying to pile in here, okay? Volume going up. But I just want to point that out. And you can access that stuff for free by yourself, right, of what they're doing. And so just pay attention, or you can be a member and I'll do it for you. But, you know, looking at some stocks, and there's not going to be many at all here because this is going to change tomorrow. Salesforce, watch this one. It's another one we've talked about in this formation. Can break either way. But again, they're wedging the heck out of this thing. You see support at the bottom. You see resistance at the top. But, you know, obviously, like I said, it can break either way. When you go back to this shaded area here, used to be resistance. It was support at one point in time as well. If we keep zooming back, you can see on both shaded areas. They're just really big points of interest for this stock and stuff. And as I tell you, AI is going to eliminate way more jobs than it creates, guys. And these companies are starting to admit that now. You see Salesforce come out today and says its new AI strategy acknowledges that AI will take jobs. And what they're saying is the AI tools they're creating don't need human supervision anymore. So you can get rid of them. Okay. And just to confirm this, after the bell, as I'm recording this, I just saw this pop on my phone. NVIDIA and Salesforce announced a strategic collaboration to develop advanced AI capabilities for the enterprise with autonomous agents and interactive avatar experience. So kiss your jobs goodbye. I hate to say it, but that's just the way it is. Okay, they're not creating jobs with this. It's to take your job. Just listen to Elon Musk, listen to a bunch of these people at the top of that. They're telling you what's going to happen, okay? Now, that's why you see IGV, which is the ETF for these tech software companies, went up crazy when we bought them in 2022, really just sitting in a range for a very long period of time, like all of 2024, sitting right there below all-time highs now. And so that's what I'm saying. A lot of these are just sitting here to see how the market's going to react when it comes to these rate cuts. Because I did a members video today, and I'm telling you, it's all over the place. There is no rule of thumb for this. And I showed the members that today. It might surprise a lot of people to hear that, but that is the truth, okay? And if you want to, again, if you're a member, make sure you watch that video so you won't be surprised. Now, earnings, Look for General Mills right here tomorrow, which will kind of let us know a little bit about ourselves. They sell a lot of products, people do, and of course we're going to get a lot more coming out on Thursdays because for some reason transportation was just pumping today, so we'll get to hear from FedEx on Thursday. So anyway, hope you guys got something out of it. Let me know what you think is going to happen tomorrow. Please hit the like and subscribe button as usual. Feel free to sign up for the membership if you like 2 private videos a week, a Discord, and a morning news brief, which details about everything you can imagine underneath the sun. So anyway, buckle up for tomorrow. It's going to be super volatile, and I'll bring you what happens. So have a good one, guys.